All right, in this week 3 lesson for the English fluency speaking course, it is a 6-week course. We are in week 3. Today we're going to talk about the invisible helmet for cyclists invented. This article is from breakingnewsenglish.com. At the present time, we have a student with us. I'm going to ask the student to introduce himself now. Saber, could you just introduce yourself? You can tell us your name, what country you're from, the time of day that it is, and why you are here.
Okay. Hi, good evening. My name is Saber. I'm an English teacher. I'm from Egypt, but I live right now in Kuwait. Teaching English as a second language in Kuwait. I have already joined this group to improve my English language. In addition to improve the action, the conversational confidence, I prepare myself to take more courses. I'm more physician with Dr. Priscilla for American High Scotland and more academic purposes.
Okay.
Time is right now is 8 o'clock in Kuwait.
Okay, that would
Okay.
be 8 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, 8 o'clock p.m.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Saber. And we're going to start out by looking at this document. I just want to remind you that this class started out as a class for or a course for beginners. Even though it doesn't sound as if you are a beginner, the information that I'm going to give to you will be useful to you as a advanced or an intermediate student. To help learners understand what they're going to talk about, it would be a good idea to try to imagine everything that you can that a picture presented. What does it entail? What is it about? And looking at the title, we have Invisible Helmet for Cyclists Invented. The word invisible might suggest that it is something that you can't see. And if we look at this helmet or this covering on this girl's head, it isn't something that I would deem as being invisible because I clearly can see it. Now, just
Yeah.
for point of record, how would you describe what you see, Saber, in this picture?
You know, for the first time when I see something like that, um, I think that's something like fashion, um, you know, people who prefer themselves to show design,
Mm-hmm.
like clothes fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and this, like the cover on her head
Yes.
is like something invented, maybe to go with the dress, to go it's like to go with a certain season, maybe in winter, and you know.
Okay.
This is what I think for the first time, but I will never think that this is a helmet to to protect someone from something.
Okay. Well, now we're going to talk about what it is by reading the article. As we read, I want to point out that punctuation is what drives enunciation and understanding. When we get to a period, we will stop for 3 seconds. When you get to a comma, you will pause for approximately 2 seconds. And the reading would sound something like this. 2 Swedish
Okay.
design students have invented a totally new kind of bicycle helmet. Period. 1, 2, 3. People are saying it's invisible because you cannot see it on a cyclist's head. 1, 2, 3. The invisible helmet is really a kind of airbag. 1, 2, 3. It is inside a large collar. 1, 2, 3. People wear it around their neck like a scarf. 1, 2, 3. When the cyclist falls off his or her bike, 1, 2, the collar quickly fills with gas and an airbag surrounds the head. The 2 students, 1, 2, Anna Haupt and Therese Alston, 1, 2, wanted to change the way people cycle. 1, 2, 3. They said, 1, 2, 3. Bicycle helmets have always been the same. 1, 2, 3. They are so bulky. 1, 2. Like a hard mushroom on your head. 1, 2, 3. They call their new invention the hodding. 1, 2, 3. The pair said it looks so fashionable that people would be happy to wear it. 1, 2, 3. Now, that is paragraph 1. As you read, it is not necessary for you to count 1, 2, or count 1, 2, 3. However, it is important for you to stop and know that you've made a complete stop. It is when, in my normal daily reading, when I make these long pauses, I am confirming to myself that I understood something about what I read. And I'll just do a couple of sentences here. When I read now, two Swedish design students have invented a totally new kind of bicycle helmet. I'm starting to think, someone invented something. They invented a helmet. Then I go on to, people are saying it's invisible because you cannot see it on the cyclist's head. Oh, a helmet that you can't see. So I talk to myself so that when I get to the end, I have a general idea of a few things that this article is about. So now I'm going to invite you, Saber, to read just paragraph 1 using the strategy that I just presented to you.
Okay.
You may begin.
Okay. Two Swedish design students have invented a totally new kind of bicycle helmet. People are saying it's invisible because you cannot see it on a cyclist's head. The invisible helmet is really a kind of airbag. It's inside a large collar. People wear it around their neck like a scarf. When the cyclist pulls off his bike, the cooler quickly filled with gas and the airbag surrounded the head. The two students, Anna Hobbit and Teresa Alston, wanted to change the way people cycle. They said, bicycle helmets have always been the same. They're so bulky, like a hard mushroom on your head. They called their new invention the Hobbit. The pair said it looks so fashionable that people would be happy to wear it.
Okay. Nice reading. I could actually feel the pauses as you were reading. Do you have any questions about what you just read?
Only the word bulky.
Okay, so we'll take a look at the word bulky in just a moment.
Can I turn on my video?
You can
It's
turn
okay.
the video off because you're not showing anyway, and it might speed up. It might keep the transmission going good.
The lights is not strong enough.
Okay, I'm not looking at your image anyway.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I didn't get the. So now what I'm wanting to get is to capture this image here. So we just read the article, and this is the image of the bicycle helmet. Now I'm going to ask you, well, first let's talk about what the word bulky means. Bulky. Bulky, are you still able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, the word bulky means something that is large. If we look at the helmet here, we see the helmet on her head. The helmet on her head is rather large. It's larger than a hat. It's larger than most things that one would put on their head, but it could resemble a helmet to some extent. So this is what we're looking at. This is the helmet. This is bulky.
Yeah.
This is a bulky helmet. Do you understand?
Yeah. Bulky is large.
Bulky means to be large. Now what
Very
I'm
large.
very large. So what I'm going
Can I use it in different sentence? Like for example, um, uh, anything else like instead of saying large, I can say bulky.
well, give me the example. What is the example that you wanted to use in another way? In most instances, I would say the answer is yes, but it seems more appropriate in some places. You may have a large vehicle, okay? You wouldn't say that you have a bulky vehicle, but you would have a large vehicle. You may have
A large, a larger number of people, for example,
no
bulky
that
number.
it would not be a bulky number of people. Bulky would be something that you can't count, that you don't generally count. Bulky would be something that you don't count. Uh, a large number of people you can count. One person, two
Yeah.
people, three people, 20 people. So it would be a large number of people.
So maybe when I get inside in the morning, I found a bulky bag of rubbish in front of my house.
Yes, you can say I found a bulky bag of rubbish in front of my home. Bulky bag of garbage. Okay, that would be fine. I have a bulky sweater under my coat. Okay, those are good examples. All right. Now,
Yes.
I'd like for you to look at this paragraph, this first paragraph that we just did, and we're going to talk about how a beginner would actually take this apart, as well as an advanced student. How would they take this paragraph apart to understand what they have read? Typically, a beginner would not understand what they have read, even though you ask about the vocabulary bulky. There may be other things that the student read but didn't understand. Generally, the beginner will just read the words without any understanding of what has been read, other than the words were pronounced correctly. So what we're going to do is look at these two separated paragraphs, or this one separated paragraph, and talk about it. Remember, I said that it is the punctuation that will guide your comprehension, your understanding, and your enunciation. So we've done that. I've read it and you've read it. So now what I want you to do is to look at this. Let's just call this paragraph 1 and call this one paragraph 2. I want you to look at sentence number 1, which starts with 2 Swedish designs, and give me one word, 1, 2, or 3 words that you could use to help you remember what this is about. I know that you don't really understand what I asked you to do, but just pick 3 words, 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words to help you decide what that first sentence is about. Just choose 1, 2, or 3 words.
I'm gonna select word invented, and helmet, and invisible.
Okay. Okay, where it is helmet, invisible,
Invisible and invented.
invisible. Okay, and in paragraph, and then in the blue, I want you to choose 1, 2, or 3 words. Let's just go with this one. Let's just go with airbag. I just want you to know that you can do this with just 1 word. Now in paragraph 2, we're going to do the same. You're going to give me 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words.
The paragraph 2.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph 2. Maybe I want to find out the keywords. Maybe surrounded.
Okay, surround. And in the last sentence, which would start about here, give me a word.
Maybe bulky and fashionable.
Now, we may not really remember a lot about this paragraph, but you will remember something when you see these words. Something should come to your mind without looking back at this paragraph. I want you to give me a sentence using these 3 words. They could be anywhere in the structure of your sentence. For example, you could say, an invisible helmet was invented by 2 students. Whatever you want to say.
Okay, related to the topic or from
Yes,
my.
no, related to this article.
Okay, as you have just said, these Swedish people have invented a helmet. This helmet is what is prominent about this helmet is it is invisible. Nobody can see it.
That's correct. It is invisible and no one can see it. Okay, okay, Swedish people have invented a helmet and no one can see it. Okay? All right, and number 2, I want you to create a sentence using the word airbag.
The helmet. When somebody fall off, the helmet. The helmet. The helmet will be filled. Will be like airbag. The airbag helmet will be inflated, something like that.
The airbag will inflate. Okay? And number
Yeah.
3,
The airbag will be will be filled with air surrounded the neck to protect anyone. The airbag will be filled with air.
and number 4,
Some people said that the helmet is bulky, but be assured it will be fashionable and people will be happy, will be worried.
okay. I don't necessarily think that that's what you said, but we'll go with it this way. So there's your word fashionable, there's your word bulky, we've used the word helmet, we use the word, I don't see the word invisible, I just see the word invented. And number 1, we need to have the word invisible since you were using it.
Swedish people have invented an visible helmet and no one can see it.
Okay.
And invisible.
And then, all right. So now what we're going to do, um, this class is not about teaching you grammar, but looking at the sentences that you have created. Swedish people have invented an invisible helmet and no one can see it. We're going to add some extenders into our conversation. We may add words at the beginning, or we may add words at the end, or we may even add a word in the middle. But we need to add something to this article as we talk about this article. And I'll do this, but yours will be different. This article is about, so I've added this. This article is about Swedish people that have invented an invisible helmet and no one can see it. Okay? Now I'm going to put in another word.
Maybe can you place and by using which new one?
In addition, well, I'm going to let you do it as well.
Okay.
In addition, when the body falls off the bike, this probably should be an airbag will inflate. I'm going to add once the airbag inflates, once the airbag inflates,
Surround
no, it
surround
will
the
be
neck.
filled with air and surround the neck. Some people say that the helmet is bulky and should be fashionable to encourage people to wear it. Okay? If this happens, the designer may become wealthy. Okay? So I've taken your 3 sentences and increased the meaning of it. Now I'm going to ask you to do the same. Control C. I'm going to take out this part. I'm going to take out that part. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. And finally, I'm going to remove the last sentence that I had added. All right, so if I were to read it, it would sound like this. This article is about Swedish people that have invented an invisible helmet and no one can see it. In addition, when the body falls off of the bike, an airbag will inflate. Once the airbag inflates, it will be filled with air and surround the neck. Some people say that the helmet is bulky and should be fashionable to encourage people to wear it. If this happens, the designer may become wealthy. Okay, Saber, do you understand what I did?
Yeah, you just add what's called transition words.
Yes, and this helps the beginner, the English language learner beginner, understand how to use additional words once they learn them to increase their ability and stamina for speaking. Okay, so
Yes.
let's do the same here.
What we have did what we have did right now. It's called paraphrasing or a little bit different from paraphrasing.
No, this is exactly what it is. We paraphrased it. We paraphrased it, and now that we've paraphrased it, we will paraphrase it even more and make it even much more my own words. Because now you're going to add words that are not necessarily in the article. Do you understand?
So I have to
Yes, please. I will type them in as you give them to me.
But I can't remember your words.
No, I don't want you to use my words. You will use your words. You're here. You aren't supposed to use my words. I want you to use your own words. Look at sentence number 1. Swedish people have invented an invisible helmet and no one can see it. You can put a word here at the beginning. You don't have to use as many words as I did. You can just use and, also, however, wherever you want to put words. It's up to you. You could say right here, two Swedish,
people.
and you would change them from people to females maybe. Because I know that it's 2 females. Whatever you remember from the article. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
2 Swedish females have invented an invisible helmet, and no one can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you go to paragraph to the second line.
Moreover, maybe
okay. Moreover.
Moreover, the body.
Moreover. Okay.
When the body falls off the bike, an airbag will inflate.
Okay. And what can you do to the third sentence?
The airbag will be filled with air and surround the neck as well.
Good. Okay. And the last one?
On the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
some people say
Okay.
that the helmet is bulky. Should be questioning. Would be okay, or
What?
in addition?
Well, you could just leave it at that. Could you read your summary now?
Okay. These Swedish females have invented an invisible helmet and no one can see it. Moreover, when the body falls off the bike, an airbag will inflate. The airbag will be filled with air and surround the neck as well. On the other hand, some people say that the helmet is bulky and should be fashionable to encourage people to wear it.
Okay. Very nicely done. So you see that we have a summary now, and you probably have a better understanding of what the first paragraph of this article is about. It's about 2 Swedish females that invented something. This something that they invented is actually an airbag that surrounds the neck. It's bulky, but it is fashionable. So there I've taken the summary, and the summary. So when you're asked now very quickly, without reading, can you tell me what the first paragraph is about? Without reading it. What is this first paragraph
First
about?
paragraph is about the people who invented the helmet and how the helmet looks like.
That's about, and that's sufficient. 2 people invented a helmet.
Okay, yeah, 2 people invented the helmet. They are 2 Swedish females. They invented an invisible helmet. This helmet will protect people while they are riding their bike. When they fall off, the helmet will be filled with air and surround the neck and protect it. Some people, have an objection that the helmet will be bulky like a mushroom, but in fact, they urge them to be more fashionable, and if that happens, they will be more wealthy or more affluent people.
Okay, very nicely done. And we would work on your delivery, but you get the general idea of what I'm looking for in a response. So now, the next thing that we would do is look at the vocabulary words. I'm going to look at the vocabulary words, the synonym match, and ask you to pronounce all of the words from 1 to 10. Can you pronounce these words 1 to 10?
Yeah, I have only from 1 to 5 is Do you want to save the changes to
You don't see the words
the
when
snap?
it starts with
I can
invented.
see,
You don't see
yeah,
10.
invented, but it is not complete.
Can you see them
You
now?
want to scroll the screen, scroll the screen.
All right, let me just put it here then. Let me just put the words here. Okay, I'm going to put the words here. Insert. Let me know if you can see the words now. Do you see the words now?
Yes.
Okay, what are they?
Okay, number one, invented. Number two, quickly, surrounded, bulky, fashionable, examined, teamed up, employees, buy, available, collaborated, big, on sale, created, workers, stylish, speedily, look at, um,
Hmm.
prickles, prickles, maybe, purchase,
Purchased. Purchased.
purchase.
But I'm not even sure where you're looking at. Oh, purchase J. Yeah, J is purchase. Good. And now what we're going to do is quickly uh, tell me if there are any words in the list that you do not know the meaning of.
I'm not quite sure about some words. Um, invented, I know invented.
Okay.
You want me to
No,
do a math synonym?
yes. And look, tell me what is number one. Number one is invented. What is the synonym for invented?
Invented. Maybe the number I, letter I, in
Okay.
circles
The word encircles means to go around.
around.
So that would not be correct.
Created, yeah, created.
It would be
Created.
created. And number
Quickly,
two, number
quickly,
two,
speedily,
speedily. And number
surrounding,
three,
inside circles.
encircles. Good. Number four
Bulky, should be big,
and number five.
fashionable, will be stylish.
Good.
Examine, can we look at,
Okay. And number seven.
teamed up, team up, team. Okay, number eight, employees, workers.
And number nine.
Buy, buy, to purchase, purchase,
And 10.
available, on sale,
And number seven.
teamed up, so the collaborated,
Okay.
not collaborate.
It is
We like to collaborate together.
collaborated. So when we look at the words that you may not have known, remember the two females collaborated, worked together
Together.
to create the helmet. And then we had in circles the helmet in circles the neck to protect the head. Okay, and then I think that was all the chat. So these synonyms, as you progress in your understanding, you'll have an opportunity to use vocabulary in a very meaningful way, not just for this article, but for other things that you would read as well. Since there's only one person in class today, I'll be able to show you how to do that as well. So for discussion purposes, we could say, do you ever worry about a cycling accident? I might first ask, do you ride a bicycle? Do you actually ride a
Yeah,
bicycle? Do you worry about having an accident? Do you ever worry about having an accident?
not too much.
Okay. Would you like to wear one of these invisible helmets?
As you know, it's not it is not the invisible helmet. I think it could be important for the people who ride the bicycle in the main road or in competition. I
Uh-huh.
think it's really important for them. But for the people who ride the bicycle only as fans, they ride in their free time.
Uh-huh.
I think it's not quite important for them.
Okay, it's not so important to them. Okay. Well, let's find out how we would have a conversation about this type of thing. So what I'm going to do now is create a dialogue. I'll create a dialogue with you. Control C. And let's go up here. So I don't think we'll fill this up, but we'll see. And I'm going to go search, insert. So we have 10 words that we're going to use. And I'm going to start with, the first word is going to be invented. The next one is going to be quickly, surround, surrounds, bulky, fashionable, examine, teamed up, S, and buy, and purchase, circles, looked at, speedily, and collaborated big and on sale. Collaborated big and on sale. We won't have enough time to go to the next paragraph and read paragraph, but the process would be the same. We're going to have a dialogue, and I'm going to be student 1, and you'll be student 2, and I'm going to say something like this. Hello, Saber. I just finished reading an article about an invention of two people. They invented something quite unique. And then you would say, really? I don't have much time. Can you quickly tell me about this invention? And then I will say, sure, it is an invention that a person will wear, and it surrounds the head. Amazing. The only thing I want on my head is a hat. Anything else would be too bulky. I understand your point. However, if it is if it is something fashionable and provide safety, you might change your mind. I would have to examine this very closely. When I say examine, I mean to spend a great deal of time with it to ensure that what I have examined is very good and of high quality. I think you will be very pleased with the quality after you have examined this new invention that was created by two individuals that teamed up to what? Create a helmet. And then you want me to believe that two people created something and there are no other employees involved? Yep, that is correct. If you buy this new product, I think, no, I know, I believe you will be pleased with the purchase. Okay, I don't usually make a purchase on the suggestion of people that have not purchased an item such as this. My question then is this: have you ever purchased a helmet? Okay, of course, I would not recommend something that I have not purchased. The helmet is designed to encircle the head. I would like to have a look at this new helmet. After I have looked at the helmet, I will make a decision. Great. You may look at my helmet and ride my bike and go speedily down the street. Be careful. Be careful. I don't want my helmet to actually be used for your protection. Ha ha ha. So funny. I think you are really excited about this effort that the students collaborated on, collaborated on to create a helmet. Yes, this is true. They are both big friends of mine, and I want to help. Okay, I will take your word. Take your word for the benefit I will receive. When will I be able to a purchase a helmet on sale? Okay, with the thought that there aren't any misspelled words in there, let's just read the dialogue. This is what helps individuals realize that they can use vocabulary in any conversation as long as they fully understand what the word actually means. So what I'd like for you to do with me is read as student 2. I will read as student 1. In the third column, I've listed all of the vocabulary words that we would want to be able to learn and use correctly in our next meeting, in our next class. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, so I will start. Hello, Saber. I just finished reading an article about an invention of two people. They invented something quite unique.
Really? I don't have much time. Can you quickly tell me about this invention?
Sure, it is an invention that a person will wear and it surrounds the head.
Amazing. The only thing I want on my head is a hat. Anything else would be too bulky.
I understand your point. However, if it is something fashionable and provides safety, you might change your mind.
I would have to examine this very closely. When I say examine, I mean to spend a great deal of time when to ensure that what I have examined is very good and of high quality.
I think you will be very pleased with the quality after you have examined this new invention, and that was created by two individuals that teamed up to create a helmet.
You wanted me to believe that two people created something and there are no other employees involved?
Yep, that is correct. If you buy this new product, I believe you will be pleased with the purchase.
I don't usually make a purchase, so in the situation of people that have no purchase and items such as this. My question then is this: have you ever purchased a helmet?
Of course, I would not recommend something that I have not purchased. The helmet is designed to encircle the head.
I'd like to have a look at this new helmet. After I have looked at the helmet, I will make a decision.
Great. You may look at my helmet and ride my bike and go speedily down the street. Be careful. I don't want my helmet to actually be used for your protection.
So funny. I think you are really excited about the effort that the students collaborated on to create the helmet.
Yes, this is true. They are both big friends of mine, and I want to help.
Okay, I'll take your word for the benefit I will receive. When will I be able to purchase an invisible helmet in sale?
Okay. So that takes us to the end of our dialogue, and we've used all of the words that were in the synonym match. So this further helps you as a student and a beginner learner understand how you can read an article, create sentences, extend the sentences, provide a summary, and then talk about something. This is useful also for exams such as the TOEFL and the IELTS. because when you're
you know,
being examined, the examiner is listening for you to uh, give extenuate to extend your conversation by using words, by using several syllable words, and interchange your speaking with the use of synonyms. So I did that very quickly, and at some point with serious practice, you would be able to do so as well. We're coming to the end of our class for today. I will ask, do you have any questions about anything that we've done? And I'm going to come back to Skype now and stop sharing my screen. Do you have any questions about anything today, Saber?
no, I want to only add a comment.
Okay.
What we have done today is the most challengeable section in English.
Yes.
To
Okay.
read, the most challengeable, section of English is reading, really, especially in TOEFL and in IELTS.
All right.
In IELTS, very, very challengeable.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great effort to understand. No, we have never understand the reading section. We just try to find the keywords as we have done today.
Mm-hmm.
We have to try to find the synonyms inside the passage to find out the answer. You know, I think this is what really I want to do. I
Okay.
want to find the synonyms. I want to paraphrase myself. I want to invented some new sentences. Okay, I want not to encycle myself in a bulky in a bulky round in a bulky place or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And this is how you actually do it, by creating sentences that may not be correct, but the fact that you're doing it, it's the beginning steps of becoming fluent. Fluency is not just being able to say things correctly, because you can become fluent and say so many things incorrectly. But the fluency comes when there is no staccato, you're not stopping. And when you are speaking that way, I don't know how it actually happens, but the correct word will come to you when you are really doing things fluently. And actually, I do have the answer. When you're doing it fluently, you know very quickly what the word means. There aren't too many words that I don't know what it means in the context of what I'm reading. For example, when you asked me about the word bulky, I said it's in generality, bulky means big, and you can use it in almost any instances, but bulky isn't something that you can count. You won't say that there was bulky. Well, I don't remember what the answer is, but it isn't something that you count. It is something that you visualize and say, oh, this is big. Okay. But there is a method to learning and a strategy for learning, and I believe that I'm able to help beginners, intermediate, and advanced learners. I want to thank you for your time today. This recording will be available for you to review, hopefully in about 10 minutes, and I'll post it. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you'll leave feedback in the wiki about the lesson for today, I would really appreciate it. So you'll go to week 3 and leave your feedback about what you gained from today's lesson. All right?
Okay, great. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for your time.
The next class will start in 7 days. That will be week 4. We'll talk again soon. Bye.
Okay,
Take care
goodbye.
now.
See you.
Girl, I saw you called, so I was calling you back.
Okay. Well, my free course class started at 1, so I was doing my week 3 free course thing. And I had one student to show up. And this is not the one that was the one that had came week 1 and week 2. Ooh,